Hello ABAP geeks, I'm back with another video after a while, but with an interesting video. So far we have discussed 4 hacks and tips, which are SC60N, second one is testing BAPIs or FMs using sequence option, how to debug background jobs in ABAP, and how to save test data automatically in BAPIs or FM during debugging mode. If you haven't seen these videos, just go to the playlist which is ABAP hacks and tips in my channel. You can watch this previous video to get better idea, and I got very good feedback from all of them, which motivated me to do this video which I'm going to do now. Without further ado, let's start the fifth one. Identify selects on specific tables during debugging. I'm sure that you're going to like this one. Let's start. Okay, the main motivation of this video is to let you know guys a simple technique to identify selects on a specific tables during debugging. Let me consider a basic scenario here. Suppose there is a situation that you want to identify where a specific table is being selected during execution of a transaction or any ABAP program. What I mean to say, suppose you have run a transaction and you want to identify that, okay, I have a specific table. I just want to see where exactly this select is being done on this particular table. What do I have to do? One way we can do is we need to debug that standard transaction until we reach the select statement that we wanted to see, which is a very time consuming. The other way is we can use ST05, where you can trace the select statement which are in a ABAP program. I will show that technique also, but has its disadvantages, especially in this specific case. Generally, it is very useful to identify how the select statements are being performed during runtime, but in this specific case, it is not pretty much useful. And finally, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a straightforward technique without any hassle. You can just debug the transaction and directly jump to the select statements on the tables that you are interested in. First, we will see ST05 technique to identify the selects which are being performed on a specific table. For that, I have taken a simple program which is select material. I have written 3 select statements. What I'm going to do is I will activate the trace before I execute this program, and I will find out what are the selects which are being performed. I know this is a very simple program. I can also show you by taking SAP standard transaction, but I just want to keep the things simple. For you also it will be very easy to understand. That's the reason. Now I will go to ST05 transaction. This is how the transaction looks. Before you execute your any program or any transaction, you can activate this trace directly. But specifically, if you want to activate this trace to your program only, then you need to go to performance trace and activate trace with filter. Here you can specify your client and also the program name, because I have created this Z program. You can also mention the transaction if you want to, trace selects which are happening in the specific transaction. But in this case, I'm just executing a normal program, which is Z select. And I will click on OK. Now the trace is already activated. Let me go back to my program and execute it, and I'll come back here. We'll see what are the selects being performed here. So I will execute this program. Okay, the program is being executed. I can see the loading icon. Okay, this is now the execution is completed. I will deactivate the trace. Now let me click on display trace. All the filter criteria will come up here. I'll just simply say execute. Now I can see selects which are performed. Here I can see these are the selects which are performed in my program. My main goal is to identify a specific table. Suppose I want to identify in EKPO whether the select is being done or not. I don't want to look at other selects which are happening on other tables. So this is why, but here you can see what are the tables which are being fetched. In my case, okay, I found EKPO is happening here. Then if I click on the program, it will directly take me to the place where the select is being done. So this is a little tedious process because it time consuming process, because we have to activate the trace, we have to set the filter, and you have to execute the transaction, deactivate the trace, and you have to find out what are the selects being performed in this program. Because this is a very simple program which I have created right now, which doesn't have much selects, but whenever you execute standard transaction, there are a number of select statements will be happening. It's very difficult to analyze all the entries here. For now you just see only 4 entries. Suppose if standard transaction, you will see a lot of entries and you have to dig through all the entries. This is the technique that we can use from ST05. The other technique, the straightforward technique, how to identify on which table the select is being actually done during the execution of a transaction. For that, let me take you to the standard transaction MM03. If you provide a material number, ideally a select statement would happen on Mara table. In this case, if you want to see where exactly that is happening, provide the material number, switch on debugging mode by providing /h command here. I'll click on enter. It will take me to the debugging mode. Now I want to keep a breakpoint at the select statement. So I'll go to the menu, breakpoints, select the option breakpoint at, and choose breakpoint at statement. Here you can simply say select. This is a statement that we want to trace. Then OK. Now here is interesting part. If you just execute this statement, the control will start whenever there is a select statement encountered, but that we do not want. We just want to stop where the select is being done on Mara table only. For that, I'll go to breakpoints. Here we can see what are the active breakpoints. For this breakpoint, I will set a filter. Okay. Now click on define filter. There will be a drop down. Choose limitation relating to database table. So you are saying that I want to keep a limitation of this breakpoint for a specific table. Here I will specify Mara and execute. I'll go to desktop 3 again. My breakpoint has set for that specific table only using that filter option. Now click on F8. See, exactly it stopped where the select is being done on this specific table. It will not stop at every select statement. This is the technique you can use to find out where the select happening on your favorite tables, whatever the tables that you want to identify during debugging or when the transaction is being executed. So let me F8 again if there is any selector again on Mara. Okay, there is no select. I'll choose basic data and it has stopped again. So there is another hit on Mara table. F8 again. That's it. Hope you like this video. So this is a simple way you can identify where the select is being happening during an execution of program. Straightforward. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll make sure whatever the information that I provide here will be valuable for the time that you are spending in this channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video.